Hi, everybody, and welcome to Teaching Tip Tuesday, brought to you by the Center for Inclusive Teaching and Learning here at UWSP. This week, I want to talk to you a little bit about grading. We all know that grading stinks. I mean, it's the part of the job that every instructor loathes the most. And there are a lot of reasons for that. There are a lot of reasons that grading stinks. First, as the instructor, you're faced with the same predictable mistakes over and over. They're part of the learning process, but they are the principal reason that grading gets really old really fast. Then there's the time commitment. It takes a tremendous amount of time to grade fairly and equitably. Just think of how often you reviewed student A's work again after you've graded student F's assignment, just to make sure that you're being consistent in the way that you're applying points. And then there's the time that it takes to provide individualized feedback that will help students to improve their performance in the future. Finally, as instructors, you can never be sure that you haven't just wasted all of your time and effort as you try to help the students because you can't be sure that they're even going to look at your feedback, let alone use it. But here at CITL, we can offer you a couple of simple tips that will help you to solve some of these problems. The first is to use the rubrics function on Canvas. And the second tip is to follow up your assignments with a student reflection that involves some commentary on your feedback. Let's start with rubrics. They're really easy to add to any assignment in Canvas. You simply click the Add Rubric button below the assignment. You can make the rubric directly from here, or you can search through your courses and available rubrics to find the one that you're looking for. If you hit the Edit button on the rubric, you can select that you want to use it for grading. In this case, it will appear in your speed grader. So to grade, you need only select the box that best describes the student's performance on each of the criteria. This greatly speeds grading and provides students with information on what they did or didn't do to earn the particular score. There's an added feature when you use rubrics that's useful for assessment. If you set up learning outcomes to include learning outcomes for the course, the program, by which I mean the GEP or the major, you can incorporate them into the rubric. In this case, I've added 2 GEP learning outcomes, and I've indicated that I don't want to use them for grading. The scores that the students get on the criteria that are above the GEP learning outcomes can be averaged to determine their overall achievement of the GEP learning outcome that is associated with those criteria. This is a huge time saver for data collection that you can use in your assessment reports. So let's recap this quickly. If we use a rubric in Canvas, it's going to make grading more consistent, fair, and equitable because we're using a checkbox system by which we're applying the same criteria to all students. It's going to reduce the time it takes to grade because we just have to click boxes, and it reduces the omissions and mistakes by students because all of the grading criteria are clearly stated. It can also allow us easy data collection for GEP and program level assessments. Now, let's quickly go over adding a reflection after an assignment. This is probably more relevant for formative assessments, but you should get a good idea of how you could use this based on what I'm showing you here. As you can see, I've set up a Canvas discussion in which students must reflect both on what they've learned and how they'll use my feedback from the most recent assignment. They can't see other people's posts until they've posted their own reflection. And just to show you up in the kebab, there is an option for you to add a rubric for your grading for this kind of assignment. The use of a reflection after an assignment can be very valuable because it forces students to spend at least some time considering your feedback. It also makes the feedback more of a discussion rather than just you commanding them to change things that they're doing, which will improve their sense of agency and help them to engage more productively in the course. Finally, having this kind of discussion can be really important in engaging students in their interactions with their peers. This can help to improve the course climate by providing students with a wider support network. It can also disrupt some of the negative effects of self-selected peer groups within the course, as students with less proficiency will have greater opportunity to interact with the more proficient students, better appreciating then that it's possible to succeed in your course. And that's Teaching Tip Tuesday for this week, brought to you by the Center for Inclusive Teaching and Learning here at UWSP. Remember that we here at CITL support faculty in course design, learning activities, assessment, and pedagogy. Please visit our website to schedule a consultation today.